Last week in Edmonton, we saw Andrew Moore, Jim Ifko, and Molson team member Andrea Strain move up the standings, while Western Division leader Karen Cudmore slipped back. Her fall on Moxie dropped the horse rider team from 1st to 12th place, while her 9th place finish on Southern Pride has opened the door. The leaderboard is ready to change. And this week, we'll track 3 riders who are out to change it. Former Olympian John Anderson, his wife Tanny Anderson, and rookie Kristen Russell, each within striking distance of first place in the Kabota Cup Western Canada Division.
You ought to know the things I see. Come along for the ride. You'll see it all when you're with me.
If a rider distinguishes himself on this series, it can be a key stepping stone to going to the Olympics.
We're back in Edmonton, City of Champions.
This is the second stop in the Kubota Western Swing.
Well, it looks like it's getting a little tougher than it was in Brandon.
John Anderson's here, Lisa Carlson, Eddie Mackin, the famous Irish rider, myself, that's kind of the old guard.
We have a lot of West Coasters out here now.
Andrea Strain is always a good competitor. Gary Brewster is always really good.
Jim Ifko's here with his horse Freddie.
Even my trainers, John and Tanny Anderson, they all have competed a lot in their lives and they've all done extremely well, and I think for me starting out it's going to be a little challenging.
I'm actually looking not too bad for the Kabota Cup standing because I'm 6th, but Karen Cudmore's here and you know, it's going to be tough enough tomorrow. So
The track here in Edmonton is outside on a big green grass field, which I think plays to my advantage because my horse is smaller, so I need to get a bit of more of a gallop.
It's outside, I haven't done it very much, and so I think I don't really have any advantages. I think I'll just go out there and try.
I expect the course to be pretty difficult here this week. Peter Holmes is a great course designer, and he knows all the riders, and that really helps when you're building a course for a good Grand Prix event like this.
He's a great judge of horses and the type of course to set that's very reasonable but yet very difficult.
The rider competes against both the other competitors and the course designer.
It's going to be a Grand Prix course, 12 obstacles, triple combination, double combination. It's a maximum test for the horse's rider's skills.
I feel I'm a very persistent person. If I believe in something, I go after it and get it.
Meet John Anderson, rider, trainer, husband, and focused competitor who goes after the things he wants and almost always gets it.
You know, I essentially stopped the sport of show jumping for 5 years, but you know, the love drew me back for the sport, so I, found it in every way possible to get back and start competing again. The sport of show jumping, I mean, it's something that gets in your blood. I mean, I've been riding since I was 5 years old, but it's just that relationship you form with a good horse that keeps you in the sport. My wife and I operate Ziedler Farm out of Calgary, and we have to ship and move 19 horses, 7 employees, 8 students. It's a lot of work to get the job done. The easiest part of riding is 65 seconds or 70 seconds, whatever it is, while you're in the ring. My horse's name is Multinational Foods O'Malley, but particularly we call him around the barn, we just call him Mario. I have a very unique relationship with Mario. It's for sure a love-hate relationship. I love it when he's good and I hate it when he's bad, because when he's good, he's great. When he's bad, he's really bad. He can become very nervous when we go to new venues, new tournaments. You know, it always takes 3 or 4 days for him to finally become at peace with his environment. There's always an uncertainty factor with this horse. On any given day, Mario can say, no, I don't want to go in the ring, and he can pull some stuff.
I remember a show in Virginia in which we were just in the warm-up ring and Mario got very scared.
And he decides he doesn't want any part of the ring, and he runs back to the barn with me on him.
He runs into stables, he'll run into a tent, and it's very scary and it's dangerous to watch and actually be on the horse. John's sponsor, Jack Langdon, got very fearful for John riding the horse.
Jack was so supportive, said, you know, John, if you don't want to ride the horse, don't worry about it. And I said, no, I think we can beat this. And we all just kind of worked together to work through this scenario where maybe a lot of people would have given up. But I think we're going to reap all the rewards of our efforts. So we'll just find out when the girls go. My wife, Tanny, and I mean, I was in love with her since I was 15 years old, and it actually started at this particular tournament way back when. You know, we were together for a while, and we went our ways, but I just stayed strong and waited it all out. And we were very fortunate to reconnect and then become married. So it's a wonderful story.
I treat him as my husband, and I love him, and I support him, and I cheer him on. I don't compete against him ever in my mind. If one of us wins the Kubota, we're both happy and we're both winners.
I got my wife competing, I'm riding 2 horses, I got 1 student, so we gotta manage all of that. Go forward, come back, even at the trot, okay?
I don't know exactly how many hats he wears, but he wears a lot of hats. I think the hardest hat he wears is he teaches all girls. And every day he has a girl crying. And he's really done very well with that, because I think that's hard for a man.
Wednesday, John enters Jazine in the Woodlawn Farms Open Welcome.
Felt great. Apparently she likes it up here in Edmonton. She got through clean, so hey, we'll be heading for the jump off.
It's a winning ride.
That's what you gotta do to win.
And while John waits to get his ribbon, he takes the time to bring Mario to the in-gate to have a sniff and get comfy.
It's Wednesday. I'm not showing until tomorrow, and I'm just up here letting him get used to the ring and be comfortable and happy in his environment. He wants to go down and have a piece of grass. That's good. That means he's relaxing. Like I say, I think we're way over the hump with this horse, but like I say, you never know.
Thursday night, the Atco Cup. Mario's ready to go and very relaxed.
Oh, Mario, I'm surprised. He's being a real good boy. He's gonna make a fool of all of us here. But you never know.
Although finishing out of the ribbons, it's a good ride, which leaves John feeling confident.
Had a great week this week. Jazine won the open welcome. We put the hammer down and she responded. As for Mario, this week he was fantastic. I think he's on his game for tomorrow. I'm 5th in points for the Kabota Cup, and tomorrow I look to climb the standings.
I could not imagine a better start to my career. It started off great, and I've had results in every Grand Prix I've done so far. And then now I'm sitting 4th in the Kubota thing, which is pretty amazing too.
Meet Kristen Russell, an 18-year-old rookie sitting in 4th place after a remarkable finish at the Kabota Cup Grand Prix in Brandon, Manitoba, in only her 3rd Grand Prix.
I am here with my trainers, John Anderson and Tanny Anderson, and I've been with them for 7 months now. Since I moved to John decided that I should move up to Grand Prix, and that's how it's been ever since.
All through Alberta, I've seen her in the junior ranks, and she always struck me as a real talented young rider.
As a competitor, I get really nervous, so walking into the ring is pretty nerve-wracking for me. After the first Grand Prix at Spruce Meadows, I came out and I was shaking, and John had to ask me to dismount because he thought I was going to faint. In lessons, my hands will even fall asleep because I just get that nervous. And then in Brandon, when I walked the course, I went completely silent, and John knew that I was getting pretty nervous then.
Kristen will be looking a little pale-faced, if you will. Then it's our job to step in there and say, come on, Kristen, lighten up. I mean, don't take it so seriously. This week has been involved with a lot of media because there's a lot of positive things happening with the Kabota Cup series. So the media's been in there, and she's going to have to deal with that. She's never had to deal with that yet. That's a big challenge, and I think that's probably her biggest challenge this week.
What we will be working on the most with her is dealing with the cameras and the nerves. And I think if we can just keep her calm and focused on the job at hand, I think she's going to be great.
It makes me feel more important, I guess. It feels kind of cool. I've never had this experience before, so for sure it makes me a little nervous. My horse is Lucky 7, and we call her Seven in the barn, and she's an 11-year-old Danish mare. She is the veteran out of the 2 of us. She's quite calm, so it kind of works together.
You try to mount the student with the horse that has already done it, been there. So when she makes mistakes, Seven will go, oh, and help her out, and you want that. I mean, she needs to go in there and clock some time in, but I think the mare jump's fabulous for her.
And for being a new rider, that helps and gives me confidence that she's able to take over and sense that I'm nervous. So usually the rider has to calm the horse. Her strengths are that she's very confident, and she's got a big stride, and she can cover ground well, and she's got scope. So her one weakness would be that she doesn't always see the back rails on oxers. Oxers are the jump with 2 rails on them that have width to them, and so sometimes she doesn't always make it across the width, and she comes down on the back one. This probably will make her look down towards it, and then she won't probably look for the back rail, so it'll be a bit of a stretch when she sees it. Here there's like Jonathan Aslin and Karen Cudmore. Ian Miller is here, and even my trainers, John and Tanny Anderson. Most of them are former Olympians, and it's a little tough to compete against them.
In some ways, Kristen also has, which I will remind her, the least pressure because she is the rookie.
Wednesday night, Kristen and Seven hit the open welcome, a class that lets the horse and rider ease into the week's progressively harder competitions. It's a tough ride. The team finishes 27th, with Seven having trouble at the oxer, as predicted.
She jumped it really well, and I think just for her coming to that last combination, I rode into a little bit too quiet, and the last oxer is quite wide, so she just didn't stretch that far, and we had that one down. So.
Thursday afternoon, the press conference. Thursday night, the Kabota Cup.
Do you know when you go yet? You go 23rd. Okay, I go first. God, you don't even get to get up until then. I'm done both of mine. That's Kristen getting all worried, wanting to know when she goes.
A long day and tough course leads to a respectable 14th place finish.
She had one down, and it was for sure her mistake. It's a little bit of inexperience. You know, if she just made her mind up earlier which one to take, she would have been clean. But she jumped great.
With all the media here and everything, it's a little more nerve-wracking, but I think I'll be able to handle it okay.
Oh, Kristen was very nervous today. Part of it, becoming a good rider, you gotta learn to deal with it.
I feel very proud of Kristen, and I am very excited for her, and I want her to do, I'd love her just to win the whole thing, too.
If I won here, I think it'd be amazing. I think I'd be completely shocked, for one, because I don't really think that, considering my level and that I think I should be the winner, I think it wouldn't totally be fair, I don't think.
You know, saying something like if she won the Kubota, it would be unfair to other riders, that just makes me laugh. And I said, why, Kristen, if you win, you deserve to win. Good.
I think I need to be a little more confident and believe that I can do it and that I eventually will be just as good as the rest of them, and I have to start somewhere. Coming into this class tomorrow, I'm a little nervous because my week has been going up a little up and down, and I think having cameras in my face is a little new to me, so we'll see how it goes.
Being a mother and a pro rider is a definite, massive juggling.
Standing third in points for the Western Kabota Cup Series is Tanny Anderson. With 3 days to get ready for Saturday's Kabota Cup, she has an excellent shot at winning it.
Jockey box? Yeah. An average day this week will be training all the 7 students with all their horses, getting time to get my own horses out, whether it be ride or walking, and having Julia come and taking care of her needs, and of course my husband's needs. So it's a busy week. Now and then I get sent to go get a salt block, which is always fun. It's actually a nice little journey on my own. 30 seconds alone. Before I was living in Europe, and I was at a show every weekend. I'd come home, unpack my suitcases, change horses, and go to the next show. And then when Julia came, it changed things because I wanted to be there for her, and you can't train as hard as everyone else can because you're being a mother. Hey, Julia, how are you? My priorities are definitely being a mother and a family and a wife, and then, of course, the horses are there. And it somehow seems to balance itself out. I'm standing third after Brandon in the Kabota Cup, and I had some ups and downs at Brandon. Before I even got there, I had to take my daughter Julia over to Florence to see her father, and then I had to fly back to Calgary, jump into the truck, and drive 15 hours to get to Brandon. Whew, that was fun. It was probably one of my harder shows. I was tired, and I just wasn't on my game, so it was a bit of a challenge for me emotionally. In addition to riding, I have 7 students here with us, and we've got to get to the ring and take care of them, and they all have quite a few. Some of them have 3 horses each, so it's a lot of work.
Tanny's a great mother, and I think that's part of the reason why she's such a great coach. Really, we're mothers and fathers to all of our students.
Thank you.
Tanny, of course, it all comes by it naturally for her because she's such a great mother with Julia.
I have 3 horses here. I have Van Holland and Pioneer, but I'm going to ride Gallant in the Kabota Cup. Gallant's a little bit of a special horse, especially to me, because he had an injury and he was off for 2.5 years. He basically broke 3 to 4 vertebrae in his neck in a shipping accident. And so then he had to have 2.5 years off healing and special treatments, but I never gave up on him. The black pad around his neck is a magnetic energy that brings circulation into his neck. Many people said, oh, he's done, he's finished. And I said, no. He's got a really big heart. He's not a big horse if you look at him compared to the rest of the horses in the field. He's quite tiny. But when you see him jump out of nowhere, he just jumps way up in the air. My biggest hurdle this week with Gallant is not getting jumped out of the saddle. The horse has jumped me out of the saddle twice when I could have won 2 Grand Prix, and he jumps sometimes so high that I just go completely off the horse. If that happens, Julia will be right there at the gate. Mommy, Mommy, are you okay? And I'll always say, yeah, I'm fine, and get up and go again. We've got a lot of top riders here, being Ian Miller, of course, and John and myself, and Jim Ifko, and Tammy Phillips. And she's gonna be tough to beat.
Wednesday night, Tanny rides Van Holland at the Woodlawn Farms Open Jumper to a 20th place finish.
Yeah, I was happy because he's kind of come off a little bit of losing his confidence. So I went fast, but I couldn't go any faster just because he's not there yet. But he will be again, so that's the good part.
Thursday night, the Atco Cup. Another 20th place finish, this time on Gallant.
Too bad, honey.
Had a great clean round, super, missed the last jump, because I'm an idiot. Yes, it's Friday, we've been apart 2 days. How are you, booby? How's the plane flight? Do you have Barbie? Yeah! Where's Barbie? Let's get Barbie. You gotta see your little dog. Go get Barbie. There's Barbie. I don't know you. Oh, now I feel old. You know, when you have a child, it just changes things. It changes your whole perspective on things, and it actually puts everything into perspective. I had a great week, and I feel really good about everything. Gallant feels great, and I feel good going into Saturday. It's great to have the family together and everything normal and tickety-boo.
It's Saturday. The Kabota Cup Grand Prix is just hours away.
I'm going to see my mom and John compete.
For John, it's been a solid week. Mario's in good form, and both are feeling confident. Same for Tanny and Gallant. While for Kristen and 7, some decent rides have been delivered in the face of mounting pressure.
This is easily the toughest track of the week. It's got triple combination, straight line, and finishing with a double.
The course looks pretty good, actually. It's a little more technical than the other days, so it should be a little bit more difficult, but we'll go out there and try our best. So, yeah, I'm feeling okay for now.
First up, Tanny.
We get the klaxon down for Calgary's Tanny Anderson.
Gallant catches one rail. A good performance on a tough course that may net them decent points.
I had 4 faults. I had fence number 4, so he just nicked it behind it, but he jumped the rest super. I think it's gonna be okay. We have to see, but I'm not out of the heap, that's for sure. So I'm happy.
John's up next. Of his 2 entries, Mario goes first.
And just rubbed the second jump. He kind of looked off into the crowd, but other than that, he was great, real focused, really tried hard, and I was real happy with him.
Next up, John and Jazine. As with Mario, the pair finished with 1 rail down.
But, you know, they were different for sure. I mean, I had the second jump. You think I would have figured it out on the second horse because I had the second jump down on the first one, but that's okay. They were both great.
Finally, it's Kristen's turn. With crowds and cameras looking on, the attention may prove to be an oxer in itself.
Kristen Russell will now make her home in Calgary.
Final result: 4 rails down, 16 jumping faults.
I wasn't really that happy with my performance today. Well, I was okay riding in, and then I think it just started hitting me. Just after, once the first one came down, I started giving up and kind of went downhill from there, I guess. But I guess that you have to go in and try a few times, and you have to fail like a few times before you can succeed. So this will be one of my failing points.
Jump great. Right? Don't forget. Okay, now this is the time where you got to get the girl to make a smile here, okay? You don't want to have watery eyes for the camera. So, well, you were great though. It's a learning experience. It's a tough thing out there. Kristen had a good week. I mean, this is part of show jumping. You have to learn to deal with all the media, the press, and all that stuff that goes along with the sport. And I think the pressure got to her a little bit, but it's going to make her a better rider in the long run.
With no clear rounds, John, Tanny, and Kristen watch Frank Sellinger and Tammy Phillips battle it out in the jump-off. Both are clear, but Tammy wins with a faster round by just under 2 seconds.
Fabulous. My horse is brilliant.
Final standing: Tammy Phillips and Lucas move into first place with 330 points. 10 points behind, Karen Cudmore and Southern Pride. John moves up to third place with Tanny just 4 points behind. And with Kristen finishing out of the ribbons, she drops from 4th to 5th place in the Kabota Cup's Western Division.
I think, O'Malley jumped great today. It was a new venue for him, and they've always been a little testy every time I go to a new place till he gets to know it. But he rose to the occasion today. I got a little unlucky, but I think we're sitting 4th overall now in the being 4th puts us, I think, 3rd overall in the series. And we just have to wait and see what the cards will throw our way when we get out to Richmond.
The ride went well today. I had 4 faults, but I'm sitting 4th overall, and I feel pretty good going into Richmond.
For the next Kubota, I'll have a lot of practice going through Spruce Meadows. I'll be there all summer, so I'm hoping to gain a whole lot of confidence and be ready for the next one.
Next week, the Kabota Cup Canadian Show Jumping Series shifts to Ottawa, Ontario, where Mike Grenier, Allison Moore, and Ainsley Vince will kick off the Eastern Division with the Big Ben Memorial Grand Prix. Make sure you're along for the ride.
And I'm believing that somebody's gonna fall. And for the first time in a long time, well, it won't be.
The ride today went well. I was happy. I had 4 faults. I'm sitting 4th overall, so I feel pretty good going into Richmond. And I also felt great having the family together on such a nice sunny day.
You won't see me or hear me until it